So I believe it's always important to know your weapon, especially in the apocalypse or any other time. And you know, and when I was looking through all these different types of weapons on their site, I wanted to make sure we got ones that our actors could handle, so they weren't too heavy, and also that they wouldn't hurt the zombies or any other person that they're trying to swing this at, right? So you know, all the stuff, again, they are foam. It's a foam rubberish. You probably can't tell, but I'm actually flexing this, but it's pretty solid stuff, guys. I mean, this right here is like the mini sledge. Okay, so it's handheld. I think they call it about 16 inches long or so, give or take. These are a little bit on the pricier side. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, I wanted some decent quality items on here. Not that you can't find other ones, but I scoured eBay, Amazon, just to try and see if I can find quick finds, quick wins. A lot of them were just hard plastic, or they just looked fake as hell, and that's just not gonna do. Not when it's on film, especially when we're only getting really one good chance to try and knock these scenes out. So I thought it worth it, but I mean, this item right here, believe it or not, is $45. I mean, I know you're probably like, whoa, 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 player. You've already blown my budget, you know, times two, especially if you're trying to shoot short film. But I do believe when you're trying to make things look quality on film, sometimes you have to buck up and pay a little bit more, which is also another reason why I think I'm going to start a GoFundMe page pretty soon. Not to say that I can't still keep trying to fund this on my own, but I mean, to get some of the cool things I want to do, I mean, if some of the other fans could actually join in on some of the fun and maybe help support us, I think we can definitely bring some other really cool projects your way in the future. But either way, that's neither here nor there. But this is the mini sledge right here, and it is awesome. It's easy to use. I think Dustin was using this one in episode 5. So we added a little bit of the fake blood around, you know, the metallic silvery edge, and like I said, it's very comfortable to use. You can use it over and over. You can hit your actors with it, but it will hurt after a while. And I can tell you this because here we go, anecdote scene. There's a scene between Mike and Dustin. We talked about it briefly before, but basically Dustin had to knock the gun out of Mike's hand, and so he kept hitting down on his wrist. And I don't know if Dustin just didn't realize how hard he was hitting, or maybe, you know, if it was making full contact, but he was every single time we did the retake, because I couldn't get the gun to fling out just the way I wanted it to. So we must have did the take a good 6 or 7 times, I know, just to knock a gun out of somebody's hand. And after that, I noticed Mike Pell, the actor, was holding his wrist, and I'm like, are you okay? I mean, what's up? You know, because I was like, what's the deal? And he goes, yeah, man, that thing's really starting to hurt. I'm like, are you actually hitting him? And Dustin's like, well, I didn't know how close I had to get to make it real. So again, this comes back to directing. Make sure you are directing your actors, and make sure that they understand what they're doing. You may have it all in your head, but they don't know everything that's going on. So you need to help them understand the situation, what's going on, and know that the camera angles are going to hide a lot of that. And so make sure that they're directed not to make full contact, obviously on a wrist or a body part. But it's not terrible, but it definitely could hurt if you hit them directly on. So again, that's the mini sledge. I think this is a cool weapon. If I were to use this in Apocalypse, though, I think this would be kind of one of my lower rated ones because of the weight. I think over time you're just going to get fatigued, you know, hitting back and forth. But if you didn't have to, you know, fight off an entire horde, I think you'd be okay just for the random encounters. So not bad. The next one I'm going to bring up is our famous the crowbar. I mean, you gotta love that. This is newrulefx.com. So this is the foam rubber crowbar prop. And this one is, ooh, it's on sale. Watch out, guys. This is normally $50. It's on sale for $29. By the way, I'm not affiliated with New Rule FX, so I guess you guys are lucky you're getting free publicity out of me. I just really like these guys. Their items are so quality. So I like this weapon. I think this would be a good one in the apocalypse. However, you know, anything with these sharp edges like this, especially when it's got one that it can be hooked in when you actually attack, I would steer away from if it was my weapon of choice. I think that this could be dangerous. It could get planted and stuck into a person or zombie, and you'd find yourself weaponless. And so you better have a sidearm or something else on you to help take care of the business. So, but either way, that is our crowbar. So, you know, we got that going for us, which is nice. Next up, always a favorite, and was a favorite of Tyrese on The Walking Dead, is the hammer. I mean, who doesn't love a good old hammer nowadays, right? And this one, again, very legit looking. I mean, even the hilt of the hammer, it's got like raises in it, and the coloring is just very nice. I even got the one that was just, it looked older and kind of, worn and rusted here at the top edge instead of the new looking one. So it looks like it's been out in the elements for a long time. So I believe Shannon used the hammer, if I'm not mistaken, in our episode 5. But all the same, I like the hammer. It's lightweight. I think you can do a lot of damage with it, especially if you're a kind of a larger guy or girl for that matter. I remember Tyrese just used to rock this on people. Again, I would be careful because of the back edge. I mean, the whole point of that is you could plant this in something, right? It's used for taking out nails and so forth. So that can be very, very dangerous if you got it stuck into a zombie's head. You can't get it out, and then another zombie attacks you, latches on, and it's say good day to Reggie Ray. So, but I guess if you use this other side, I mean, you could just pound zombie heads in all day long. So again, that's one of the reasons why I chose it for our Dead Nightmare series. I have 2 more weapons still to show here, so bear with me right here. Next thing I want to show you is, of course, the kind of mini hatchet. Okay, so the hatchet is a great weapon. I think also kind of bad because it could get stuck into a zombie or person's body or head or so forth. But what I love about this is the back of the hatchet. I mean, you're talking about a stable quality hatchet that you could just wreck people with backhands and forwards. Just coming over the top. I mean, you would just wreck these fools. So I think it's a pretty cool item. It's semi-lightweight. However, though, a real one obviously would be get heavy after a while, swinging over and over and over again. But this one, it's pretty cool. It comes in a couple different versions, and the hatchet goes for a wonderful $20. And I think that's why I like this one. It wasn't so expensive. I was like, oh, that one right there. Let's get that one. It's not going to break the budget so badly. So again, this is the hatchet. Pretty cool looking item. I think they have one that has a shinier. I got kind of the darker eroded again kind of hatchet style, but you can see as my light's hitting and so forth, it gives a nice sheen to it and whatnot. So pretty cool item overall. And actually, I'm going to take it back. I think Shannon used the hatchet. I know because my wife played the zombie and she had to pretend like she was getting hacked and slashed by this thing. Pretty cool scene, by the way. Make sure to get out there and check out our Dead Nightmare series. It's out there on my channel. 6 free episodes for your enjoying pleasure. And our actors, obviously, have day jobs and can't devote all their time to acting, but they've been getting better and better, I think, as we move from episode to episode. So if you can start in, I think you guys will get hooked and enjoy the series. So you can probably see what I've started to raise right here. This would be actually my #1 pick out of these 5 items. Okay, this is just just your standard baseball bat. Big fan of Negan. Oh, by the way, the hatchet was obviously a big fan of Rick. We saw him using that a lot in the later seasons before his what we thought to be demise. But anywho's, the baseball bat I do like. Now, this thing is not heavy at all. All right, guys, you see that? I mean, it is super light. It is decently long. I don't have an exact size on it right here, but I'm sure they have more on the site. And let me tell you, this is a steal right now on this website. It's down to like $39.99, which are like $40. That's a steal. Yeah, because believe it or not, I think I paid $80 for this originally. So clearly these guys have been. Oh, in fact, it is it. I see it. I see the price right there. Originally $80. So this is half off right now. I may just go pick up another one because of another fun story that happened on the set of our episode 5. A lot of things happen on episode 5, it seems. So, James, gotta love you, brother. But James had the chance to use this bad boy, and he had to pretend to bash in this one zombie's head. Well, hit him a few times, get him to the ground, and then bash in his head. Notice we added some blood to the edge of the bat, so that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, I got that going. And it kind of even stained in there a bit, so now you almost can't even get it off. But that's cool. It looks worn. But again, it's got a decent core. I can feel it, the fiberglass core inside. But what happened was I gave James direction. I said, hey, I want you just to come down on top, and I want you to look like you just keep nailing the camera. Boom, boom, you know. But he's not going to hit the camera itself. And I even backed up, so he would be nowhere near my expensive camera. But what he did do is beat the ever-loving shit out of my new foam bat that I had. He took this thing with full force. Now again, no one was around him. He just needed to look like he was beating the hell out of something. And he wrecked this into the ground a good, I don't know, 5-6 times first. And I remember when he pulled it up, I saw like it was like swiveled and it was bending and so forth. And I'm just like, I go, whoa, James, oh yeah, no, you don't. But he was doing so good, I didn't want to stop him, right? You don't want to stop your actor, but I'm just going to point this out. So I mean, if I point this towards the camera, you can already see. I mean, this is not straight anymore. So I did my best to try and bend it back in. So after the first take of that, I'm like, hey, okay, remember, you don't have to make full contact. It's just coming down. He did it again, and he beat it another 3 or 4 times into the ground. So needless to say, this bat has already been through the works from the start off. So do not take this thing and start beating the hell out of things. It will bend, and it's going to look odd. It's going to look off. Now, luckily, the quick moves and takes that we do on our Dead Nightmare series, people aren't going to notice. But I can notice, and I spent a lot of money on it too. So, I mean, it would have felt better if I only spent $40 versus $80. Jesus. But either way, this this is the path we find ourselves on, right? So anyways, be careful with this. I will admit, out of these 5 weapons, this is my number 1 choice. I like this because it gives you that distance between you and your subject. It's kind of like batter up, right? I will admit that aluminum one would probably be better because, let's face it, a wooden one can break. For sure it could break, and eventually it probably will, depending on how much usage you have in your scenario. So, yeah, if I were to take one into the real world, probably aluminum, maybe something a little on the edge. And aluminum bats are not always terribly heavy either, so you can get a lot of swings at it before you get heavily fatigued. So, anyways, that's just my choice. I'm definitely no weapons expert, but here on Dead Nightmare, we like to think that we know everything zombies, or at least pretend to, or whatever. So, those are the foam weapons that we're currently using. They have a lot of other cool stuff on the side, guys. I mean, they have grenades and they have breakable bottles, which I have a really cool idea about using those in a future part of an episode for Dead Nightmare. It's going to be a flashback for Dustin. That's all I'm going to spoil for right now. There could be some really cool things coming along the way. So I hope you guys, if you haven't joined in on us, make sure you do. Like and subscribe. Always like to see those likes and subscribes so I know that you guys are enjoying our content. Plus, it helps others know that we're worth watching. So we just hit just over 250,000 people on our director's cut, which I thought was amazing. I mean, it went from like nothing, and then the engine finally found it and on YouTube, and now it's kind of blowing up. So that's just been a really great experience. So. Okay, that's all I have for now right now. Again, New Rule FX if you want to start finding foam weapons, or just go out and Google and look up foam weapons in general. And they have all kinds of medieval swords out there and all kinds of stuff. But you will end up paying for it. But sometimes, again, you have to choose your battles of what you're going to spend your budget on. And this is one area that I did not want to miss out on. So, again, this is the Z-Man channel. I'm Mike Schilling, your host, and we will see you at the next Behind the Scenes. See ya.